In a previous video, I already talked about introducing extreme Clippy to a new crate, to an empty crate. And that was relatively easy because there were no real violations. There were a couple of violations only. What happens if you already have a project that you have been developing for several, I don't know, weeks, months, years, I don't know, and you haven't used Clippy or you haven't used any of the extreme parts of Clippy, maybe used it only standard way. We want to do this again in the extreme way, turn off every lint and see what happens then. So what I do is, luckily, I have this project, this Rust Digger that I started a couple of months ago, before I learned about Clippy, basically, or before I learned how to configure Clippy. So here it is, cargo Clippy. I can already run it. If I type it correctly, then it might even work. Okay, so apparently at this point, I already learned a little bit about Clippy, and I even fixed all the violations that I had with the standard Clippy, but I haven't configured any additional thing. So what I do is go back to the same page that I had set aside, where I already had the default, had this extreme configuration. And again, I use just the cargo toml file to configure it. So I go back to my cargo toml file in the project and copy and paste here all the lints, turned it off to the extreme. Now what happens? Of course, if I run cargo Clippy, it will give me all kind of errors, right? All kind of violations. It gives me 136, which is quite a lot to fix. And each one of them, or many of them, are different. So let's see, for example, how many of these really are. So if I run find on src, we can see the files that I have in this project, and then I can xargs wc on it and count how many lines of code there are. So there's 1,800 lines of code, and although the standard Clippy already passing, this extreme part reported 136 violations. So what, 7% of the lines? Quite a lot. 0.7%, whatever, doesn't matter, the lot. Okay, and fixing all these 136 violations right now, it's not really something that you would want to do. It's well, we don't want to do it. So what can we do? The strategy I follow is that I turn on everything, then turn off all the violations I actually have, all the links that actually I'm violating, getting back to the point where Clippy is happy again. And that already, if I commit to this to the repository and make it sure that this Clippy runs all the time on, let's say, in the CI system, then I know that I won't introduce any new type of violation to the code anymore. So that's already a win. And then what I can do is go over all the violations I turned off and read about them and decide if they are important or not, or which are the most important ones. And then based on that, I can fix one by one each one of the violation types. So how can I do this? As you can see, each violation basically has its URL, and then at the end of the URL, there's a hash mark and the name of the violation. So I prepared already a statement here that can do filter out these things. What this statement does, let's run it. It creates a list of all the violations equal hello that we can add to the cargo toml file. So we can put it there with two larger than signs, and then I put it into the cargo toml file. This will append it to the cargo toml file. Okay, so I can put here some extra entry space. Okay, so these are all the violations, each one of them once, that I had. So if I want to go over this command, we can do this, cargo Clippy. So the first one, let's go over this way. The first one will just combine the two output channels, the standard output channel to the standard error to the standard output. That will make it easy to run the grep. So I can grep this this line. It doesn't really actually matter how precise it is. This one will already show only the URLs, right? And then I can go, the next thing was to sed. So using sed, I can cut off the part which is before the hash mark, right? And then this will leave only the names of the violation, but there are many of them that are duplicates, right? So we want to make it unique, but the way unique works in Unix, that you have to put them one after the other. I mean, it won't be unique if they are in separate places. So first we sort them, then we run unique on through them, and then with these X args, I can generate this output. So it looks okay. Now let's see what Cargo Clippy say. And this actually surprised me, because I thought that by adding all the violations and allowing them, Clippy will be happy. But apparently, the first run of Clippy didn't report everything. So now I have to run this thing again and append even more of these rules, more of these lints to the cargo toml file. Okay, so now we have even, oh, no, this is not the one that I wanted. Okay, I wanted the full one, this one, right? Okay, this command. So I run it again. Okay, so this one added even more, and apparently these are different ones. So it a little bit ruined my the ABC order here. We can figure it out, we can improve it. So let's see what happens now. And it's still not clean, okay? I still have two violations. So I run this again. It's really strange. I'll have to read about a little bit more. But now finally Clippy is happy. So now what I would do is commit these changes to the repository, okay? Maybe I would sort them if I really wanted, okay? And then once I have everything fine, I know that we won't get more types of violations. Then I can go and say, okay, panic in result FN, whatever that means. I would go up, look at the documentation, the explanation, enable it. So let's say really this one. Let's say this one. Okay, I have no idea what is this. Okay, and I can't even. Okay, so I turn it off and now run cargo Clippy. Okay, and here it is. Okay, I can enlarge this one, and I can see I had 4 of these, and I even get the reports. So now I can first of all go and read on the website what this means, and then I can see whether I want to fix them, or one by one say that they are okay, or just say, okay, well, I don't care about this, or it's too difficult for now, so leave it. So maybe this is too difficult for now, so let's do something else. Expect used. Okay, so let's not use expect. Okay, there is somewhere in the code where I use expect. Okay, there are 2 places. Okay, so here you can see 2 things. I could improve the code to get rid of this expect, and that will improve a lot the code. So I hope that this helps and you like Clippy now even better, and then you will like the video and will follow the channel, and we'll see you soon.